Welcome to Community Corner. I'm your host, Melody Callihan. Joining me in the studio today, I have Mr. Tony Shipman. He is the director of Teen Court, and I have Miss Grace Thompson. She is the coordinator for the community service. Thank y'all so much for coming in today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
We're going to dive right in because we may have some folks tuning in that are not familiar with this program. So, Mr. Shipman, would you just start out by telling us a little bit about Teen Court, what it is, and how it came about?
Well, Teen Court is a program for first-time offenders, misdemeanors offenders between the ages of 11 and 18. And it's an alternative program to the court system. Each offender must admit his or her guilt before the hearing. And then we have a hearing from the referrals that we get from law enforcement, the SROs in the school system, law enforcement in the community, wildlife, the court systems, juvenile justice, and we have the student and a parent come in and do an intake interview for about 30 to 45 minutes to do the documentation of the paperwork. The court system is ran by the teenagers. The teenagers are the attorneys, the bailiff, the clerk, and the jury. And they have a session where the jury goes in and listens to the case. We have volunteer attorneys and judges that sit on the bench and preside as the judge. The kids come out of a jury and then they have sentencing guidelines for the students, which could be a apology letter, an essay, and community service up to 20 hours. And Ms. Thompson she directs the community service aspect of Teen Court.
And these are for young people between the ages of 11 and 18, is that
Yes,
correct?
Yes, 11 to 18.
And so this essentially, they avoid the court system. They're referred to you, right? Because that's the purpose?
Yes.
Okay. But it's only for misdemeanors?
Yes.
Okay.
But I also teach a Live at 25 defensive driving class where I go to district traffic court. Every student is referred to me who is 16, 17, and 18. I can accept 18-year-olds if they're still in school during the time of the incident. That's one of the guidelines for the state.
Yes, sir.
And the defensive driving class is a 4-hour class that's taught on a Saturday from 9 to 1. We do a PowerPoint presentation, or I do a PowerPoint presentation. The students take the 4-hour class. They do a 2-page essay, and I give them guidelines of what to write in the essay. And they come back and do 2 hours of community service in the jury during Teen Court. If they complete these 3 processes, their citation is dismissed.
Now, where are the classes held?
I teach the class at my office at 111 Washington Street, Building A. It's the district attorney's office. We have a large conference room, and I do the PowerPoint there. Our Teen Court program is held in the courthouse. We utilize the second floor, one of the courtrooms. We meet at 5 p.m. second Tuesday of every month. We have refreshments, pizza, and then we try to start court roughly 5:45 to 6 p.m. and we try to be done by 7:30, depending on how many cases we have.
So how many cases do you typically have in an evening?
2 to 3 cases per evening. We have a small gathering of volunteers, and we don't have the numbers to try more than 3 cases. Plus, it'd be more time-consuming in an afternoon, and the students have to go to school the next day, or they participating in sports and stuff. But it's an excellent program. It's an opportunity for the kids to learn how to speak in front of the public. They're judged by their peers, which the peers are more judgmental than adults are towards teenagers.
A little more critical sometimes.
Yeah, a little more critical. And it's a learning process. A lot of kids actually come back after they've been a defendant. They can come back and be a volunteer. A lot of the adult student volunteers who are attorneys go on to law school, and they come back as mentors. So it's a win-win situation for the teenager.
So this would be a good experience if there's a young person thinking about law or something in that criminal justice umbrella. This would be a great experience for them to participate. What it would be like to be in the actual courtroom.
Yes, it would. Yes,
Now,
it would.
once the student completes all of the requirements, there's nothing that goes on their record. It just goes away.
No, it's expunged. I mean,
Okay.
the case is dismissed. Now, if the student doesn't complete the process, the student will be referred back to the referee, the sheriff, deputy in the school system, or the law enforcement agency in the Whiteville PD, or to juvenile justice. They must complete the 3 steps of community service, the teen court session, and jury duty before they complete the program. If they don't complete the program, we refer them back to the referral where they came from.
What's the typical time frame that the student has to complete these steps?
Well, Ms. Thompson, we try to get them in and out within about 3 to 4 months.
Exactly.
Okay. So they've got plenty of time.
They have plenty of time. We have a time restraint when we have a referral from juvenile justice, but the referrals from the SRO and the police, we have a little bit more time to complete the process.
Are there any costs involved?
Nope, they're absolutely free. The only requirement is that the student has to admit their responsible for what they did, and they have to want to participate in the program. The answer to those 2 questions must be yes, or I can't go any further.
Right. Now, the community service, that's a given. That's going to be part of their requirements to
Exactly.
complete. Now, the community service hours, are those all worked locally? How does that part of it work?
We want them to be worked locally. Yes, and so far I have the Facts of Life Church with Miss Brooks is the director there, or the pastor there, and she feeds on Saturday mornings, so our kids are able to go out there and help.
Okay.
I have the Dream Center, Family First Thrift Store, which has been very helpful. Men and Women United, Strengthening Families, they have like a life skill class that they go to. And that really helps the kids as well as gives them community service hours.
Right.
The recreation centers around town, they also help. We'll go in and mop floors or clean outside after games, those kinds of things. And then I've actually used the tribal center out there in the county.
Yes.
So it has been very helpful for the community to assist us in those resources.
Now, if there are any other businesses or agencies that would like to volunteer to be a place where folks can do their community service, is that an option?
That is. It
Okay.
is an option, yes.
They just need to reach out to you?
Reach out to me at 910-641-4475.
Typically, how many hours does a student have to complete? Does that depend on what the violation is, or?
With teen court, it's up to 20 hours. Okay. However, if I get it from Department of Juvenile Justice, that is that can be different. It can be up to 100 hours. If a kid is coming out of court with probation, it could be more hours because they have to pay restitution. So if they have to pay restitution, that depends on how many hours they will receive.
Now, the jury, Mr. Shipman, you said is also made up of young volunteers.
Yes.
So do they have, do you oversee that process?
We have adult volunteers that go in the jury room with them, and they have guidelines to go by for asking questions, what questions they should ask the defendant. There's always an adult mentor or chaperone with the student. We have a training in September. Normally we're on the school schedule, so June, July, and August we don't have sessions of teen court because there's nobody in school,
Right.
and we don't have that many referrals coming in. So we use September as our training month, where we have all the students come in and they state what position they want to be a part of, and we do breakaways and have, say, a bailiff or a attorney or jury member to go over what that actual individual part of the process does.
Gotcha.
We have several attorneys that come in and represent as mentors, local attorneys, judges, and it's worked out very well.
So if there's a young person that might be interested in volunteering, what's the process for that?
They can call my office or Ms. Thompson. My number is 910-641-4480, or my website, my email address is teencourt@columbusco.org. If they want to volunteer, they could come to a session and just sit in the audience and observe. Each session is the second Tuesday of each month. Our next teen court session is February the 13th at 5 p.m. at the Columbus County Courthouse. You all are welcome to come. Bring your parents, bring your friends, your cousins, everyone. We invite the kids because my disclaimer is I guarantee you enjoy it and you'll want to come back.
Well, it looks like there would be that would add to the accountability part of it.
Yes.
With the young folks. You've got people there watching that may know you and they're going to help hold you accountable. Speaking of accountability, when the student completes the program, are there any follow-up sessions, or do you check in with them? Or
I do check in. I see a lot of the students in the community that have gone through the program. I attend the basketball games and the football games because a lot of the students play sports, and as I feel I'm obligated to go and show them some support.
Right.
Not only in teen court, but in what they venture to do in the community.
That's right. How long has teen court been here in Columbus County?
Oh wow, I defer that
It's
question.
it's been a minute, right?
It's been almost 20 years.
Oh, it's been probably longer than that. Yeah, it's been
And
a
how
long
long
time.
have you worked with the program?
I've been here. September will be 6 years. I moved back home in 17, and wanted to get involved in the community, and I saw this as an opportunity, and I look at it as my calling. I was in law enforcement for 37 years, putting students in the system, so now my job is to mentor them and keep them out of the system.
Well, I think this is a very important program because there are so many young people sometimes that just get caught up in situations and feel like they're just doomed. And this is a way for them to overcome that and see that light at the end of the tunnel. We have so many that fall in the gaps. And I think a program like this really helps to support those young folks and show them that we can get past this. It was a mistake.
Exactly.
And we can move on, and if you know better, do better, right?
Well, I also have to put a plug in for our students. We have what you call a summit competition. There's 60 programs in the state. Each program sends a team representative, 2 attorneys, 2 prosecutors, 2 defense attorneys, a defendant and a bailiff. A bailiff and a clerk. And fortunately, we've won 9 awards in the last 2 sessions that we've gone to.
Impressive.
In competition.
State competition.
That's wonderful.
This is it's very competitive, and we've been very proud of our students. We as I refer, we won probably 9. I think it's 9 awards.
That's great.
Yes.
And I forgot to ask, with the volunteers, what's the age limit on the volunteers, or the range?
Same age, 11
to 18. So someone as young as 11 can volunteer to help.
What we try to do is have the younger students and the first timers sit in the jury where they can actually see the process, how it evolves.
Right.
And then as they get more comfortable, and a lot of kids are shy when they come in, they don't want to speak. So the jury is a good place to start, and then they can build up to a bailiff or a clerk or an attorney.
Perfect. Can you give that website just one more time for me?
The website is teencourt@columbusco.org. My number is 910-641-4480. My name is Tony Shipman.
Perfect. Well, I've learned a lot today, and I thank y'all for coming out. I think this is a wonderful program. It's a much needed program, and it truly makes a difference in our community. So I personally appreciate all that you're doing
Thank
for
you.
our young people. And if anybody's tuning in that would like to volunteer, this is a great opportunity to get your community service hours. Like Mr. Shipman was saying, public speaking, leadership. There's just so many ways to further develop yourself. You should give them a call. If you're interested in community service, get in touch with Miss Thompson. I'm sure she would love to hear from you. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you come back real soon so you can see how we continue to open doors to opportunities here at Southeastern Community College.